A student sits down with his Buddhist teacher and says, "Quickly, tell me how to find inner peace." The teacher replies, "Go sweep the floor in the meditation hall." The student replies, "I don't want to sweep the floor. I want to find inner peace." The teacher responds with silence. Now, before we go on, it should be noted that in Buddhist koans like the one I just recited, if the teacher replies with silence, it generally means we've missed the mark. They have offered us the teaching on a silver platter, so to speak, and we, the student, have missed it. So let's do the work. Let's dig into this koan. Let's figure out what the teacher was trying to explain to the student, and why did the student miss it? What was his mistake? Now, we first need to understand that the student's question in and of itself is not problematic. Who doesn't want inner peace? The truth is, most of us get involved with Buddhist practice because we just want to stop suffering so much. We want a peaceful, calm life. We want to go through our day without so much struggle. And Buddhism is designed to help us do it. It's right there in the Four Noble Truths. Life is suffering. Suffering is caused by desire. The way to end suffering is to end desire. The way to end desire is the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, it should be noted, however, that when the Buddha recited the Four Noble Truths, he's not saying that desire is bad necessarily. What he's trying to get us to understand is our desires very rarely match up with daily life. We have an expectation about the way things should be, and then we have the reality of how things are, and in that gap, suffering. The bigger the gap, the more suffering. The smaller the gap, the less suffering. The more we can align ourselves, bring our desires in line with the reality, the less we suffer as a result. Bit of a silly example, but let's say we're hungry in the middle of the night. And we decide that we want to eat the leftover lasagna that we had for dinner. So we get up, we go down to the refrigerator, boom, we find the lasagna. No suffering, everything's good. But let's say in that exact situation, we open the refrigerator, the lasagna is gone, but there's lentil soup. And we like lentil soup. It's one of our favorites, but we really wanted that lasagna. Well, we suffer. And the more we wanted the lasagna, the more we're going to suffer. If we can bring our expectations into alignment with reality, which is to say we're just happy to eat whatever's in the refrigerator, well, it doesn't matter what we find. As long as there's food, we'll be satisfied. We'll experience inner peace. Now, we don't know exactly what was going on in the head of the student, but if I look back at my own personal experience in the practice, he probably wanted something a little more exciting, a little bit more in-depth than go sweep the meditation hall. He was probably hoping to get some secret meditation technique, maybe a chant that no one else knew, a sutra to study that wasn't available to the general public. He wanted something exciting, which is perfectly normal, perfectly natural. But the fact is, and what the teacher was trying to get him to understand, is that most of life isn't exciting. Most of it isn't fun. Most of it is sweeping the meditation hall, washing the dishes, walking the dog, cutting the grass. This is the vast majority of our daily experience. And if our expectations of life don't align with that, we will never experience inner peace. The more we desire, the less satisfied we become with our daily life experiences. The less we desire, the more we lower our expectations to be in alignment with reality, the more satisfaction and the more inner peace we experience. What the teacher was trying to get him to understand is that in order for us to have inner peace, we have to be perfectly satisfied with something as simple as sweeping the floor in the meditation hall. We have to be satisfied with cleaning the litter box, with being stuck in traffic, with going to work even though we're tired because we didn't get enough sleep the night before. Now, we might push back on that. I know I did. But whether we push back or not, reality will not change based on our desires. So we can become in alignment with reality and suffer less, or we can fight against it and suffer more. And if we choose the latter, that's fine. We're allowed to make that decision, but we need to understand that if we do that, the world will respond with silence. Amitabha.